Welcome back to Dakota News Now. It's now time for another edition of Owning Your Outdoors. Joining me as always is Doug Schroeder from Lewis. And Doug, we're finally getting some warm summer-like weather in there, so why not talk about some summer-like plants?
Yes, tropicals. One of my favorite categories is tropicals. This time of year, going into June, July, August, they're going to thrive and look beautiful in your landscape, in your planters, hanging baskets, whatever you choose to put them.
So I'm someone who's never bought a tropical before, so what should I be looking at? What should I know?
Depending on where you want to put it. Now, you can go in and buy a hibiscus and just plant it in a pot by itself. That's fine. There's a number of different combinations of planters you can do with a tropical. I like to use a tropical as a thriller within the planter when I put it together. Some of my favorites are a cordyline. It comes in a number of different sizes, shades. There's variegated ones. There's so many different ones to choose from. One I use today in this planter here is a Mandevilla. And it vines up. You can actually, in a planter like this for a thriller, take and put extra sticks into this and it'll keep vining up. So you'll have, and I have done this a number of years at my house. One that I use quite often are Cannas. I have a yellow one here and a red one. Aaron, down at your end, there's another example. I use the Canna in this planter down here and put that together. It makes a great thriller. Elephant's ear, number of different shades and colors. And this is something that prefers a little more shade. So if you have a shady neighborhood, this is something great to use as a thriller.
Yeah, some tropical grasses here, it looks like.
Yes, grasses here. So many different kinds. We have some rush grass, we have some spirulus, and we have purple fountain grass. Purple fountain grass is probably the one predominantly used in this area.
So I know you said that the elephant's ear usually likes a little more shade, but for the other ones with the name tropical, probably like a little more sunshine?
Sun to partial shade is what I recommend for all of these. There's so many different uses you can use for them. I think right now our best seller is Cannas. We can hardly keep them in stock. I've used them a number of years. The one thing about Cannas is they keep blooming all summer long and keep growing. You'll have other flowers come up from within. The canna bulbs will come up and they'll just bloom throughout the whole summer.
So sun to partial shade. What about water and fertilizer? Anything different we need to know about that?
Watering, most of them need a fair amount of water. Now your cordyline can go a little drier, but I just do the finger test. If the soil is getting a little dry, I give them a little water.
Probably best to water them in the morning or in the evening, not in the heat of the day.
In the morning is where I prefer people to water. You don't want to do it during the heat of the day. That shocks anything.
And like you said, it's a nice thriller to put in a potted plant. You could just plant them by themselves too, right?
Yeah. I do that all the time with hibiscus. Primarily is the one I plant by itself. A lot of people use mandevillas and plant them by themselves. Also want to remember to fertilize. If you're putting anything into a planter, you need to fertilize it probably every week or two.
And don't skimp on the dirt too, right?
No, always use the top quality dirt because if you start with a bad one, that's a bad foundation for anything.
All right, Doug, any other tips for tropicals for us?
Nope. We have the sun now, Aaron. Thank you.
Yep.
Now it's time to plant some tropicals and enjoy them.
All right, that sounds great, Doug. Thank you for the advice. We're going to have all this information online at dakotanewsnow.com after the show, including in a PDF form that you can download and go ahead and have handy dandy for you. We're going to go ahead and take a break after that, though. We're going to take a look at FastCast.